What's up, guys? Time for another Morphogen nutrition product review. I did a product review on the MorphoBURN last, and then I had a comment on the YouTube video about doing a product on the MorphoLEAN. So that's what I'm going to do this time. And I actually don't have a bottle of it in front of me, but I do have an ingredient list in front of me. So we'll go over the ingredients, kind of talk about the product. This product stacks really well with the MorphoBURN. This is a stimulant product. This is obviously going to need to be cycled and used periodically, whereas the MorphoBURN can pretty much be used all the time. But the two stack really well together. The ingredient profile is such that they do complement each other really well. So let's go over some of the things that the product does. It's primarily going to focus on, increased thermogenesis, metabolic rate, fat oxidation, and then help with appetite. So let's go over the ingredient list here on the products. First ingredient is green tea extract. So obviously green tea extract has quite a few health benefits that aren't necessarily related to fat loss, some anti-diabetic and microbial carcinogenic effects, anti-carcinogenic effects, of course. But it does exert some fat oxidation effect, and it's a really good additive to pretty much any stimulant-based fat loss product. There, will have a little bit of caffeine in it, but not a whole lot. You're mainly focusing on the EGCG content, which is really high in the MorphoLEAN green tea extract. So that's your first ingredient. Second ingredient is Teacrine. Most people have probably seen this by now. Newer stimulant alkaloid, pretty similar alkaloid to caffeine. Only there are some differences. It tends to not have as quick of tolerance, so people can use it longer without needing to raise the dose. It does have a longer half-life, longer active life, so it is in the system a lot longer than caffeine, but it's going to provide some of the similar cognitive benefits and energy and things of that nature. So it's a little bit different, makes the product last a little bit longer in terms of the energy feel. So next ingredient is a cocoa extract called cocoa butyrol. So the cocoa extract has quite a few different components to it. Some of which, like theobromine, for example, which some people have probably heard of. But among these compounds, they are going to help with fat oxidation. So that's one of the main things that you're going to get out of the cocoa extract. There are antioxidants, some other micronutrients and stuff within this extract. Also may help with things like insulin sensitivity. But again, another ingredient that's going to help with fat oxidation in the cocoa. So next ingredient is caffeine. This is the typical caffeine anhydrous. It's pretty common in most of the products. Most people know about caffeine. It does have performance benefit, cognitive benefits. Does have, like I said, a little bit shorter half-life than the Teacrine, but it's going to complement them well. You kind of have that extended release type of feel. The caffeine will help with fat oxidation, so it does have that fat burning effect. A lot of people just use that as more of an energy product, but it does have fat loss benefits as well. So that's added in the product. Next is Synephrine HCl. Synephrine, okay, so Synephrine acts on beta receptors pretty similar to ephedrine, albeit not quite as strong, but it is legal in all, drug tested federations, and it's illegal in WADA. Anything that's tested by WADA, it's going to be fine. So you will get that. You will get the action on the beta receptors like ephedrine, and you will get extra caloric expenditure and extra metabolic rate from the Synephrine, and it is completely fine to use in any kind of sporting event or bodybuilding federation. All right, so next in the product is Hordenine, and it's kind of an interesting ingredient because what it essentially does is going to help prevent the breakdown of the beta receptor agonist supplements. So like your Synephrine, for example, and your caffeine, it's going to make these things work better. So it obviously makes it a great addition for this product. Add it in there and make those primary fat loss ingredients work better for you. So that is why you see that product here. Next is Lean GBB. I talked about this in the MorphoBURN review, I believe I did talk about it. It is going to help raise serum carnitine levels, and we know that oral carnitine supplementation is just not very effective in raising those levels, and the lean GGB can, though carnitine does have some fat loss benefits. Taking it orally is just not really a good option. So we have this ingredient as a great replacement, and we can still get the benefits that way. All right, next ingredient is going to be rowolsine or rowolsine. Again, another hard one to pronounce. I call it Alpha-Yohimbine. A lot of people call it A-Yohimbine. You'll see it spelled out a couple different ways, but we'll call it Alpha-Yohimbine for the sake of ease of pronunciation. So the Alpha-Yohimbine, it's similar to yohimbine in that it is going to act on alpha receptors, alpha receptor antagonist, but it is different because it tends to come with less side effects, and it also it's stronger per milligram. So essentially, you can use less of it and get the benefit, and also have less side effects, which makes it kind of desirable in that regard. It's something that people that don't react well to yohimbine, it's definitely a good option for them, because tolerance to yohimbine HCl is kind of all over the board. Some people do really well with it, some people do terrible with it. So this Alpha-Yohimbine is a good option for a lot of those people. And just to play it safe, that's what's added into this product instead of the traditional yohimbine HCl. So more people should be able to tolerate and use this product. So I should also note too, with the yohimbine, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it is with the alpha receptor antagonist. It helps primarily with the stubborn fat areas. It is going to be fat loss all over, but it helps with a lot of those stubborn fat areas that people tend to struggle with. So that's kind of why it's so attractive to a lot of people. So last ingredient is 3,5-diethylthyronine. So we talked about the 3,3 in the MorphoBURN. The 3,5 is slightly suppressive. It's still going to have, it's still going to help boost the thyroid output, boost metabolism. It's a little bit stronger, slightly stronger than the 3,3, but again, it is suppressive. But with the nature of this product is going to be cycled. It's going to be used periodically and not just on a constant basis. So that's why the 3,5 was used here. So the 3,5 and the 3,3 can be used together. They'll complement one another. And it's going to be easier to use the 3,5 in the product that already has to be cycled. So that's why you'll see that here. So again, that's the MorphoLEAN profile. Like I said, pretty cool because you can combine it with the MorphoBURN. Everything coincides with one another really well. I typically, how I would like to use something like this is I would add the MorphoBURN in a little bit earlier and run it through a fat loss phase, and then I can add the MorphoLEAN in later, really work on those stubborn fat areas and take advantage of a more stimulant-based fat loss product. So guys, check this out. There's description of all the ingredients and formula, highlights of the formula, and all that on morphogennutrition.com. Of course, use my code DATA4 at checkout. And if you have any questions, feel free to just comment and let me know, and I'd be glad to address them. So thank you.